All right, we're live, pal.
We are
Um,
live.
so the week that was does not matter because
I mean, it matters a
Revolution.
little bit. I mean,
It
WWE
doesn't.
had their shit.
It doesn't. We could just make this a Revolution show. It's no need for us to talk about Raw or Smack. I guess Cody doesn't like impressions of his dad, so I mean, that's the talking point here. But there's nothing else to talk about. This is an AEW centric show. The
Okay,
pay per
listen,
view.
listen.
The pay per view
I
is
mean,
fan. Go ahead.
fantastic. No, no, we got our shit to talk about. I'll save the Chad Gable conversation, but I mean, there is new women's tag champions, and all that stuff. But here, we're just here right after Revolution, and yes, AEW is the topic of conversation right now. Let's just be real with it. They just had a good show. It started off kind of slow. I didn't see the beginning actually. I didn't see the first two matches completely because it was just technical difficulties. But after that, we got the Texas Death Match. There's some images in the drive if you want to check that out and bring them in there. But you
Yes.
want to start with the Texas Death Match because we can go from that point forward. And I just want to talk about a couple of matches that we want to just
Yeah, let's.
highlight.
I mean, yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so first and foremost, I will say this: you didn't see the first couple beginning of matches. Ricky Starks, thank you. The right guy won. Let's
Hmm.
get him wherever he need to go, away from away from Chris Jericho,
He
wherever
needs to be TNT champion
he need to
eventually.
be. Well, okay, so wow, okay, so you wanted to do a death match? Just let me into it. We got a new TNT champion, right?
Yeah, all that's in the
Warlow,
drive. But yes, you just grab those. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Warlow chokes out Joe, right? And now we have a new TNT champion. That story doesn't. I don't know if it is complete, but hopefully it is because Hobbs is laying and waiting. And that led me into the conversation of what you said. If Hobbs somehow wins the TNT championship, Hobbs and Ricky Starks for a title matters. That's a great story to tell. That's easy story to tell. I think you can build that up, and I think that'd be great. So I
yeah.
just wanted to tie into those two little things because Ricky Starks need to get back on a horse of being important, and Will Hobbs needs to capitalize holding this motherfucking Sonic ring that he got. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah, Will Hobbs gotta definitely capitalize. I think that he's one of their future stars, along with Ricky Starks, and Wardlow. Those three guys right now look to me like the most TNT worthy like division. We did have Jack Perry, defeat Christian Cage. Was that a casket match? I didn't know it was a casket match, but they seem to be pushing him a lot. So I can see him being in the mix as well. But those guys right now I see as a TNT division, and Ricky Starks, he needed that victory. And now we have Wardlow, who just finally defeated Samoa Joe, choked him out. His own move wasn't the only match where somebody won with their opponent's finisher, but I think that was just due for Wardlow. Like after being bitched out and everything that he went through over the past couple months, he got to get one up on Samoa Joe and choke him out, and it all comes full circle now. And I feel like, all
yeah.
right, let's put this to bed. So shout out to Wardlow and Samoa Joe. It was a good match too. I enjoyed it.
It was a good match, but it was very much a low from
Oh,
the
of
high
course.
that took place. And let's start off with again. I'm sorry. Let's go into where you wanted to start off. This this
Yes.
image
The
is
hangman.
the
The epitome of the hangman. Listen, I mean, you text me, Hangman Page ain't that nigga, and then we watched it play out right in front of our eyes how gritty, how this guy is with John Moxley. The Hangman
yo
hung John Moxley. He
yo
hung him to dry and won
if
a
there was
Texas death
ever
match.
if there was ever watch it play out like you know 3 minutes later like
Exactly, exactly. No, it was a great match. Like I don't know what makes a Texas death match. I mean, maybe it's the rules that you got to knock the guy out or what. I'm not sure if it's just barbed wire or whatever it is.
Yes, it's
All I,
Texas death matches. You win by it's pretty much either last man standing match mixed with a submission match. So
Okay.
you either knock him out, he can't stand to his feet, or he taps out. So that's a Texas death match.
So basically, you gotta pretty much dominate somebody to just definitively, end the feud.
If you play WWE, if you ever play WWE 2K, you gotta knock a nigga health break. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get the stretcher out, yeah. You gotta injure the nigga for real. But I thought it was great.
It's not even gray; it's metallic. You go all the way down.
Yeah. Completely empty, dog. Empty the tank completely. But yeah, it was another that was the first match of the night contender because from beginning to end it was brutal. Like honestly, goddamn brutal. Freaking Dean brought up the fork, stabbing him in that forehead. Hangman hitting the dead eye on the freaking barbed wire, and then he hit the freaking last ride power bomb onto the chair. So many different spots in this match were so brutal, and certain things I didn't even expect. Even him pulling out the curb stop on the bricks, the throwback to his boy.
Bro, the bricks on the hand.
The bricks on the hand. Oh my goodness! And then he sat down on the chair for a moment. I thought that we're gonna see like maybe a senton or something. Nah, John Moxley got back up, tossed that nigga head first through a fucking barbed wire table. It shit was nuts, So like, go back and watch it. Hangman Page, John Moxley. Hangman Page pulls out the victory, like the baby, like the baby face he is. I think that John Moxley is a tweener kind of dude, and him hanging John Moxley to finish that match is poetic for this man. I think it's like a statement victory for the Hangman, and that image.
It is the definitive win for him. Because this was the most definitive feud. I know he had the Punk feud. I know he had the Kenny Omega feud, finally toppling over Kenny Omega. But this was personal enough and professional enough to where you can really see the beauty of pro wrestling, right? You can really see the evolution of storytelling, where it's just as subtle as, again, Moxie's like, I don't think no one can carry this torch. I'm the toughest motherfucker here. Like, and Hangman is like, well, no, I'm kind of here. I'm kind of tough. I'm kind of the guy that the company built around. And Moxie's like, well, yeah, if they would have, they could have, but they didn't. They put on me. I carried the flag. I am the one. And that, like, hey kid, I can show you some things, right?
Basically big broing him, sunning him the entire way, and saying you ain't like that.
And Adam Biff, again, he proved I'm the man against Punk or lost the way. And honestly, realistically, in retrospect, if Adam Hangman Page beats Punk, right, and is champion, when Moxley beats him, right? Because essentially MJF still loses, still beats Moxley. We can still have all that. We can still, but if Hangman champion and gets knocked out, and they gotta call a match, and now Moxley's champion, and then Hangman come, like, oh my goodness, that's just like the cherry on top.
It adds even more to it. But even without the championship being on the line, him being really knocked out. Like, and that little bit of reality being played into this feud, which already had a personal tinge to it of him just saying, listen, you ain't that dude. And, pretty much just stunning him the entire way, saying, listen, man, you're going to come out here and cry. Like, listen, like, go take that shit somewhere else. What do you think I was going to do? I didn't come here to, I came here to knock niggas out, and I did that.
Moxley pretty much told that nigga to take that shit to your therapist.
Yeah, word up.
Do not bring this here.
Yeah, he says, you come back, I'm gonna knock you out again. And that's what these two men went. They try to take each other's head off, and there's blood, of course, tons of blood. And the finish, man, like the finish is just poetic. Bring that image back up. Shit, the Hangman prevails, and John Moxley, he don't lose a lot.
and I just not so much he don't lose a lot. He don't get pinned. Yes, that's true. He doesn't get pinned, and
He damn sure don't.
He gave himself up for this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you gotta talk about this finish, right? I don't know if this is a shoot finish. I don't think it's a shoot finish, right? You plan some of this thing out, right?
Uh-huh.
And like, hey, you're gonna hang me with the chain, and that's Moxley giving himself up, surrender. Everybody knows Moxley's a motherfucker. Like everybody knows Moxley crazy, deranged. He's sick. He's a tough guy. I'm gonna give that to you. Does a lot for Hangman, and you know what I'm saying, that does a lot. That says a lot about Mox's character, again, personally, professionally, right? I want to bring this CCW stuff in. I want to bring this GCW stuff in. I want to bring New Jack, Nick Gage stuff in. I want to present it because I'm the guy that can do it. I can tote that flag. I am him.
Uh-huh.
And he brings that in, and people who want to embrace themselves in, like Hangman, MJF, you know, Kid Vega, Death Matcher, all those guys that want to elevate, right, and be on par with it. You know, I don't want to be the guy say I'm the guy when I'm scared to go after this crazy. Like, no, that's it. That's Cactus Jack. That's Ric Flair.
Oh my God, you just hit the nail on the head. I was just about to say, they're in the vein of a Mick Foley, Terry Funk. Listen, and taking that style and saying, listen, you can still present it, and it can still be wrestling. You know, it can still be. Like, it's not just gory shit, you know, like just for kicks, like just ECW or GCW, senseless violence. You know, there is an inbred storyline purpose to this Texas Death Match. And then the poetic finish to it for Hangman is huge, you know, and John Moxley, you said, gave himself up for that. He damn sure does not submit to anybody. But if there's gonna be a way, him being hung by a fucking steel chain is one way where he'd be like, all right, he got that one, like, you know. So
I gotta tap.
Yeah, he got a tap, you know. Only thing better would have been him from the pass out and then bring out the stretcher or something. But you know, the Blackpool Combat Club came to, you know, get him after that. Some people are not happy because they say the Blackpool Combat Club is being jobbed out. I don't agree to that. I think they're elevating the whole division. I think they're elevating AEW. Every single one of them in the Blackpool Combat Club have had great matches in AEW with other people.
I will say this. The topic on Twitter, and regarding that in particular, is that the people are upset about how William Regal essentially left, right, and kind of left that storyline in peril, right? So I believe that as important as he was and integrate in the storyline with him and Moxley, and now MJF, and then you got MJF, Bryan Danielson, and William Regal, him abruptly just leaving right now and leaving them without direction, because again, he was a mouthpiece for a few of those guys.
True.
You know what I'm saying? He was direction, kind of pointing of where they're at. So I look at Yuta and Moxley and Danielson and Claudio right now in this situation where I think it's time, right? I think it's the disbandment, and we've seen it. Right? It's not a non-negotiable that, you know, four individuals who come together with a common goal of just beating people up then disband, because right now, again, there is no real direction for them to go. You know what I mean? Like, I think Wheeler Yuta losing to Orange Cassidy doesn't hurt him. That was a fantastic match.
Oh, yeah,
but
great match. Yeah.
When you talk about the presentation of what ROH is, you know, him and Claudio are two ROH champions. I think it's time for them to be able to solidify themselves and create feuds and put themselves with that particular brand, if that's going to be something that they hold. If not, then you got to be able to shift, because I'm looking at those titles. They're held up right now as far as storyline capacity. The Pure Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, the Television Championship. I don't know what they're doing with the Trios Championship. Mark Briscoe clearly, and Jay, we already know what the Tag Championships. There's not really a lot available for us to sink ourselves into. And I think if Yuta and Claudio, who are mainstays of AEW, are intricate in ROH storylines on TV, I think that allows them to do a little bit and be a little bit more versatile than where they're at right now.
I think that it did what it needed to do. Like Blackpool Combat Club gave an introduction to Claudio and
Yeah,
gave Wheeler Yuta a street cred,
yeah,
and that has worked. Now we have ROH champion Claudio Castagnoli, first world championship he's ever had. He's a 2-time champion now. And then we have Wheeler Yuta, who is performing great with that pure championship. Had a great feud with Daniel Garcia,
yeah.
and a great match with Orange Cassidy, like you just mentioned. What do we need to do with this Blackpool Combat Club? Now you can always keep it together like they do sometimes, just for a little bit of time. Like they still they kept together the whatchamacallit, the whole Jericho group. They well past their expiration date. They tend to do that with AEW sometimes, and I don't know why, but they like to just have these factions that are like, give them ability to say, hey, this person got an alliance here, this person got an alliance there, and I get it. But if they're gonna do a split, I think I would want to see a Claudio versus John Moxley match or something, or Daniel Bryan versus Claudio. I don't want to see like it just randomly. Okay, guys, we're good now. Let's just go our own separate ways. I need to see
So
some kind of reason.
You wanted to kind of crack in the middle of it and then blow up essentially.
Yeah, I need some type of reason for it. And if you want to tie it back to William Regal and him leaving and John Moxley not being tied to Blackpool Combat Club anymore, like he used to. Like, listen, this dude cost me the AEW championship, and I haven't been right ever since. Fuck the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm taking off everybody's head, and I don't care who it is. Type of energy. And he goes heel, whatever he has to do. That would be amazing for me. I think John Moxley heel run in AEW
Well,
is yet to come.
I think this plays great into what we just saw with the main event too, and the result of this match, right? I think when we talk about the Blackpool Combat Club, was 4 members, right? 2 of them niggas took extremely difficult losses. Brian Danielson lost the 60-minute Iron Man match overtime with MJF. Reese just now, John Moxley. I think John Moxley taking time away. He needs time away, and if he comes back here, that's perfect. And he comes back with the story that you're telling, or similar to, because it's not fun. It's like we don't just fantasy book a lot of the things happen that we say because it's just the zeitgeist. It's just the reason. Again, it's reasonable wrestling. Like it's
it makes perfect logical sense.
You know what I'm saying, of where to go and how to tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have nobody in the know when we just spitball some of this shit. And it happens to happen on TV, but it's sometimes just like you got to go this way. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. I mean, so with that being said, I think John Moxley taking time away, he really needs to take time, right? They had to give him the championship when Punk got down and he had to carry the flag again. But yeah, he's supposed to be on vacation and things of that nature. Take time out, come back with the idea of, the Blackpool Combat Club hasn't served me a lot of purpose.
No, right? He can come out there and just say it's dead, and then come like, what's going on? Like, no, listen, I said I made this thing. Me and Brian Danielson decided to start this, and I'm killing it. And then they're like, okay. And then he just, starts fucking niggas up. Like, I mean, it's gonna be that simple. But like, I think you're right. He should take some time off. And I think he's faced everybody, like really, like he's faced everybody except for Adam Cole, maybe, but yeah, we've seen, I think that he's done what he needed to. He's put over MJF, he's put over Hangman Page, he's put over Punk, and then he fucked it up, so at the end of the day, give him some time off, we'll see.
Speaking of Claudio and Adam Cole, I think Adam Cole be a great bearer of the flag for Ring of Honor. Again,
I don't want him to go backwards. I feel like that's a backward step for him. I think that here's what I'm saying. Like, there's a levels to this. I feel like ROH is not on TV yet quite consistently. So at least I can't catch it if it is. I need Adam Cole to be on television.
He can still be on. That's what I'm saying. He can still be on television. But like Claudio's still on TV with the championship and ain't doing shit, right?
But the ROH championship ain't doing shit. That's what I mean. Like the ROH champion never does anything.
No, but that's not fair. Hold on, that's not fair to say. Jonathan Gresham, great ROH ring of
I'm not talking about that ROH. I'm talking about the new ROH and what they're trying to do with AEW and that being like a subsidiary to what they're doing on.
Well, I mean, well, I will be honest. It is. I'm gonna be honest though. It is going to be a subsidiary, right?
But then why would you put Adam Cole over there and go back to that when he can literally go against MJF and that could be that you've been waiting for that.
Yes. What I'm saying is, okay, this goes back to if Daniel Bryan won a Ring of Honor championship, it matters who has it. Like that's what I'm saying. So if Bryan Danielson had won a Ring of Honor championship in that tournament, that feels different. It brings different opponents. It brings different eyeballs to that title, regardless.
It doesn't feel different for Adam Cole though. Like I think Bryan Danielson going back to it is a whole different connotation because he's been a world champion in a major company many times before. Adam Cole has been NXT champion. Him and I think NXT and ROH were kind of like subsidiary companies to the main stage. Adam Cole still needs to be a main stage star. I don't
want to cut you off. Adam Cole as NXT champion was a thing.
Was what?
It was a big thing.
Oh, absolutely. And NXT was a big thing then.
That's what I'm saying. But NXT wasn't the lineage of NXT is not the lineage of ROH. So my thing is when Adam Cole won the title, it's like, oh, these people were champion in NXT and NXT was on the rise, and I understand that, but it still wasn't ROH. Like ROH at its best wasn't, and NXT at its best is not ROH at its best. Even with the lineage, with the wrestling, with the title holders, like all of that. And that's why I said I think the prestige of Adam Cole being a former Ring of Honor champion, I think that kind of brings in. That's the only reason why I say that, because I know he can't get the AEW championship right now. The TNT title is beneath him. The Ring of Honor television, like there is not a title. There's not a title.
Him and MJF is the feud I want to see for the AEW. Maybe not right now, but I don't want him to go to ROH and then come back out. I want him to go straight after MJF once he's ready. He can have a feud maybe before that with Jericho. He might even have a feud with Kenny Omega before that because we haven't seen that really blow up yet. Then, boom.
Well, Kenny Omega and
by the summertime, Adam Cole, MJF, huh? What do you say?
Kenny Omega and Adam Cole without a title just seems bad because that was supposed to be the trios. That was supposed to be but that was supposed to be the trios titles, no pun intended. Like we were supposed to have Bobby, Kyle, Adam against the Elite for the trios championship. So like those two guys just don't have a feud without nothing at stake because it's just too high demand. It's Kenny and Adam, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that
title on it. You think?
You got to. To.
I mean, I can come up with it. I can give me the pen. I can figure it out. But I hear you. I mean,
and still make it interesting with MJF. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's
make it a triple threat. It could even be a triple threat.
Oh no, we're not doing that. No, I'm not even. We can move on to another conversation if we're gonna talk about just a triple threat.
I'm just saying, you're talking about ROH championship. I'm saying I got bigger plans for Adam Cole after this return. Me personally, I'm saying I got bigger plans than ROH championship. Well, and I hear you on that.
It's unfair for you to say that. Oh, I don't want Adam Cole to wrestle for the Ring of Honor championship when I just said that Daniel Bryan could have wrestled for the Ring of Honor championship. It's not beneath him. He could have won it, and he still can go to the AEW championship, which he just did tonight, and it's not beneath him because it's Bryan Danielson. And I'm thinking Adam Cole is on the same wavelength, especially if we're talking about. Well, I mean, you don't think so? What?
I don't think he's on the same wavelength as Bryan Danielson at all. I just don't. I think that Bryan Danielson can get away with certain things that other people can't. And I don't think that Adam Cole is that dude. I think that him be going and get the ROH championship. Like, oh, yeah, I remember that. He was ROH championship before. Anyways, what is MJF doing? Anyways, what is Kenny Omega doing? Anyways, what is John Moxley and Hangman Page doing? That's what it's going to feel like to me.
No, it's not. No, absolutely not. There's no that. It's okay. It
could be wrong.
You're telling me just because, again, it's all about what they're trying to do. And again, I don't think Claudio is a guy that they can like. What are they trying to do? They can't do anything, right? Who is right now primed to take the title to make ROH actually mean something? This goes back to the Black Combat
We got a
Club.
couple of people that we gotta, get to see get shine in ROH. We got a couple. We got Jay Lethal. We got the Small Joes that he lost.
Jay Lethal.
You don't think you don't want Jay Lethal? He actually did. He was the best part of that tag match today, in my opinion.
Okay, we have this nigga say Adam Cole no, but Jay Lethal. Let's go to the next portion.
I'm trying to take Adam Cole to the next level. You're trying to send him back to ROH. Listen, I'm giving him just due. You over here disrespecting your guy and saying he has to go back to that.
That's not it's not disrespect when Samoa won. It was like, oh, let's see what it do. It's about how it's presented, and I know that right now ROH is not doing that's what they can with what they have. But this is what I'm telling you, the champions. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Athena doesn't have a competitor for the women's title.
Eddie Kingston.
We're huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're telling me ROH is like, yeah, that's Eddie Kingston. Like, no, that's not the best way to use Claudio Castagnoli as his first. This is what I'm trying to say. His first world championship title reign. They made it important. He beat Jonathan Gresham, and then they do what? Give him Eddie Kingston. I think that's because
what are you talking about? Eddie Kingston has become one of the most beloved characters on AEW. Let's be real here. Taking that, and mind you, there's a big roster in AEW. He has disgruntledness. He wants to leave AEW. This is part of the angle. He's going to ROH face Claudio. He has something to fight for. He has not won any gold yet, and he has now going back to ROH, who he already has a beef with Claudio with. He's already said it publicly, like, yo, I don't like this guy. He's always condescending, just like Daniel Bryan. He says he genuinely doesn't flow with these niggas. So at the end of the day, I've said to you before that Eddie Kingston can be AEW champion. You've always fought me on that. If you keep saying he can't be ROH champion, then I don't know what to tell you.
That's not what I'm saying. And I get what you're saying. I understand. I'm following that dialogue. But what I'm saying is, like you just said it. This roster's thick. This roster's big. Shout out to let's get to this. The new trios championship, right? The House of Black. The house always wins, which means Kenny Omega is free to be a singles run again. This is what is the pecking order of AEW, right? AEW is the top guy. MJF's the top guy. Okay, Kenny Omega looks really, really good now. Okay, he looks really, really healthy. Where does he go? Where is it? Okay, so where is his trajectory? Who is his next feud? What's his next situation?
MJF, right? Of course.
All right, man. Everybody else is MJF. You say Adam Cole's MJF, Kenny Omega's MJF, Hangman's MJF.
I just said triple threat. You like that?
This is what you do with it. Like,
listen, you didn't listen to what I said. I said a bunch of things that you can do with Adam Cole, and I said by the summertime, him and MJF should be the feud, and he should be the one to beat MJF. That's what I'm trying to say. Kenny Omega should not beat him. Neither should anybody between now and the summertime. It should be Adam Cole against MJF at All Out, and boom, there's new AEW champion Adam Cole, full circle. He's a year off, came back, and he's now champion. He said he wants to win singles gold. This is the time to make him the star that he's supposed to have been a long time ago. This is time where he's on national TV every single week as your world champion, rather than being subverse to being an ROH champion every week on national TV while there's another champion that we're waiting to see in the main event, or there's another champion that we're waiting to see at the 9 o'clock hour. He should be that 9 o'clock hour, or he should be the main event. And I'm trying to put him in a position where he can elevate to be the guy that we know he can be. And he's had great matches in the past. Now let's see if he can carry a company.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm hearing you, Chidi, but you just said, okay, it's March, right? I don't know when All Out is, but I just said Kenny is free now. Adam Hangman Page is free now. Adam Cole is free now, and like, okay, like, where's the pecking order of all of this?
Okay, I'll tell you right now. Right now,
I don't think Adam Cole is hotter or hot enough to where he can leapfrog a healthy new coming back Kenny Omega and a freshly new Adam Page that got some dog in him, and then Adam Cole, little scrawny ass, going on because I'm challenging for the championship.
Listen, what I meant when I said that, I wasn't saying like next pay-per-view Adam Cole. Just being clear. I even said, hey, maybe you can face Kenny Omega first. Huh?
I know you said
by the summer. Yeah. So you don't think that by then you can get him hot?
No, not again. This is what you're trying to say. If you're really, this is what I'm trying to say. Kenny is back. There, I don't think there's nobody. Like, I don't think you're like following me here. Like, Kenny's back. I don't think there's nobody on that roster that's really messing with the engaged, involved, crowd supported, crowd lifted up Kenny Omega. Like that.
So do you think that he's taking the title from MJF?
I don't know, but I don't also think that Adam Cole can. This goes back to the Sammy Cody, right? If we're looking at
Cole, I got you. I get you. You're talking about the steam and who we're behind. I think that two things can be true at the same time. I think that you can simmer, you can get, because right now Kenny Omega is at the top of the pecking order now. So if he has feuds between now and then, we're burning him out. You know, by the time the summer comes around, Adam Cole wins a couple matches. He's gonna get hot, and then they're gonna meet right here. Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, boom, a feud.
But it's not just matches; it's feuds, though, right? That's what I'm saying. I think.
That's what I mean. Yeah, feuds. Obviously, it could be even if he faces Claudio, even if he faces Brian Danielson, even if he faces all these other people along the way, he could face a ton of guys over there, man. Jericho. I mean, I know that we don't like to talk about Jericho, but Jericho and Adam Cole could be an interesting mic battle, whatever they want to do, and see where they go with it. You know, so those things can get him ready for the Kenny Omega feud, which can get him ready for MJF, or you can have Kenny Omega beat MJF, and boom, AEW All Out, Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole. You know, that's what I'm going for, and I think that Adam Cole this year should be the next big guy you make. I think Kenny Omega's already had a title. Heyman Page already had a title. Who are you looking at as saying who making a star this year to be a staple of AEW? Adam Cole, baby. That's all I'm trying to say.
Damn, that sounds like we should just punctuate the show with that, man.
Listen, man.
We need to talk about right there. I mean,
listen, I just want to give a shout out to MJF and Brian Danielson. When I thought that you guys couldn't topple the Texas Death Match, I personally thought that was a great performance, and that was the match of the night. Arguably one of the best matches that I've seen of the year. That 60 minutes and then the overtime finish, working the leg, working the arm, the stiffness of everything, MJF's character work. I loved it all, you know, and I think that he stood the test of, you know, that we saw that maybe he couldn't. Some people thought he couldn't, you know, stand toe to toe with, you know, the American Dragon, and he did. And like I said, MJF is the heel of all heels. He won with a heel move, hitting him with the oxygen tank, and you know, pulls out a victory in a slimy way. He got a pin after a low blow, got two pins off of that. I mean, if there's a way to go out, he reminds me of Triple H when he was going against The Rock, you know, all those years ago when he was in the Iron Man match.
This is 2003 Triple H, nigga,
and all that too. Yeah,
this is Triple H with the white trunks with the fucking motor mustache, nigga.
The handlebar mustache. Yeah,
this is him beating Scott Steiner and shit like that.
This always cheating away, finding a way to get out and get the victory.
I agree with you. MJF had his longest match to date to his career. Psychology wise, there was some things that, but as far as like how they, you know, how they worked the match, and the falls kind of was sporadic, but they did what they needed to do. The submissions, right? Where MJF would tap after the time, after
the near falls. They might have broke the record for the amount of near falls in a minute time frame too. That shit was crazy.
And I agree. The commentary helped a little bit. Where Taz is like, "Hey man, I don't like the water spot, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Flat
gonna do
out.
it, you can do it, you know." But MJF, nigga looking like Chris Bosh out there. They, you know,
Yeah,
so,
the crowd chant H2O, man. And he and MJF, shout out to his physique. He's shredded. He looks like a champion. The entrance, the devil entrance, that low tone that they brought to his entrance music with the violins and the harp. I mean, not the harp, the violins and the.
one thing I do gotta comment on it. If that wasn't a plant and that wasn't planned, and he threw a drink on that little kid, he need to make that shit right, or he need to get his ass. Well, I don't know, or now it's an and in there. He need to make it right, and he need to get his ass beat. Because I'm telling you this: if my wife took my kids to the show and I wasn't there, right, and
MGF.
you threw a drink on one of my kids, nigga, I would have to figure out where the next show is.
I didn't like that spot. Honestly, I didn't like that spot at all. I'll be honest with you.
If anything, throw it on my wife. Don't throw it on my kid. Like, throw it on, like, and I think the mom too would have been like, "Yo, throw it on me because don't fuck with my child. Don't fuck with my child." You know what I'm saying? Like, so I
throw it on my wife.
Nah, man, throw it on my wife. Don't throw it on my kid, brother. Speaking of my wife, she side-eyeing me like a motherfucker. Like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "All right, I know." You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. I guess let's wrap it up. It's only been 36 minutes.
Well, before then, I want to say this though. We can wrap. We can kind of tie in some things, put a bow on it, because, like you said, we talk about things that we want. The Revolution show was really good. The 3 matches that we brought up, the trio shout out to the House of Black.
Yeah, another good match.
I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on the women because, again, I just wanted Jamie to win. Right, Jamie won.
Fuck that shit. It was whack. The whole thing was whack. The finish was whack. After the post match was whack. I don't know why they're going with Ruby Soho joining these niggas. Like, it's just dumb. Jamie Hayter needs to give this up. She's ruining the women's division.
I'm really about to end the broadcast now, because if you don't think those 3 women between Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm ain't ruining this, I don't know what to tell you, brother.
They all are. Everybody involved in this shit collectively.
Everybody but Jade and Willow. How about that? And Jade, Willow, and Athena. Yeah, I'm saying?
Tony, all y'all fucking everything up, man.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, it doesn't make no fucking sense, yo. Ruby Soho joining these niggas is dumb as shit.
She should be Ruby Solo. You know what I'm saying?
Supposed to be Solo.
Yeah, that was dumb. And I ain't even gonna bring up that
after
tag
you just
match.
had a match. Yeah, you know what? Forget it.
Yeah, that triple threat match was trash. The tag match.
You gotta bring it. Top guys here to save the day. Top guys are back. FTR. So hopefully the tag division gets a little bit of positivity going forward with them joining, and they can beat the guns and get their revenge.
What I'm telling you is that when they said this match is next, I just said
I already knew that shit. I didn't even have to text you. I was like, he ain't watching this bullshit. But you missed Jay Lethal, man. So,
all right. So everybody, thank you for joining.
Listen, man, we'll talk more about WWE next week. I just want to give a shout out to Chad Gable, another guy who this year should be getting a singles title. Give another shout out to the women's tag teams of Lita and Becky, which I thought that is interesting going into WrestleMania. We'll see where that lies.
It's interesting, and I won't comment too much on that because I want to see where it goes. Like, because I get it, but I'm confused. We was in Canada, it didn't happen. We had the fiasco. They said Trish was there. It was a change in creative. Then they do it the next week. I honestly want to see where the direction. We got Cena coming back tomorrow, right? Cena's going to be on Raw tomorrow. He's going to kick in a few with Austin Theory. Maybe we'll get a direction of what we're going to do with the women's tag division. But I do want to congratulate Lita. I do want to congratulate Becky Lynch. That was it did what it needed to do for whoever.
47 years old. I mean, obviously, with age you get slower. But she's tag champion at 47 with Becky, and Becky's tagging with her favorite champion. Trish came back looking great. So I mean, if I get to see Trish at WrestleMania, anytime I get to see Trish, I'm happy shit. So you know, I'm looking
Well,
forward to WrestleMania. Everybody looking nice. Oscar and Bianca is gonna be there, so it's gonna be looking like it's gonna be a good show. I do got a take on Bray and Bobby that I will save for next week because I don't want to. I don't want to hate it anymore. I just want to just go to bed on positivity tonight, you know. But shout out to AEW all in all. It was a great show, Revolution.
let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go to let's do that.
I don't feel like it. Not tonight. But it was all is love. Everything was wrestling. AEW had a great show. We'll see what goes down on Dynamite this week.
Yes, we got tomorrow night. We got NXT on Tuesday. They're getting to shifting the gear to the road to WrestleMania or Stand and Deliver.
Roadblock,
and then we got the subsequent show Dynamite on Wednesday. ROH is on Thursday. SmackDown and Rampage is on Friday. And then we'll be live back with you guys on Saturday night. And then we'll
banger of the week, Wesley and Nathan Frazier, yo. I know they're out now watching NXT. That shit was fucking fire. I mean, there's tons of bangers this week, but that was one of them. So go check that out.
Look at us tapping in on a little everything before we go to some, and not things that we shitting on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we'll keep everything fresh and funky. I might roll a couple of joints on live and let y'all know what we. What the group chat is talking about, and keep y'all updated on what we talking about. But yeah, man, let's not argue before we go to bed. You know,
it's nah. Okay, enough of this shit. We out this bitch. All's love. Everything is wrestling, and we'll see you next week.